Hey guys, we're back for the second episode of Smith's Grove Sanitarium podcast. And before we get started today, like last time, we're just going to kind of go over the latest news in horror, what's been going on, what's happened in the horror community. So, yeah, Josh, what's going on?
Well, I haven't really seen anything new. Haven't really read too much about anything new going on. I just kind of saw a couple new releases that I wanted to talk about that I thought would be interesting. And I'm sure you probably saw. Maybe some of them you didn't see, but a couple I'm excited about. One, not so much, but I'm going to share one of these. Let's see. I guess we can go ahead and talk about this one first.
All right.
Oh,
yes.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 4K from Second Sight. I listened to Dead Pit talk about this yesterday, and Uncle Bill didn't really want this. He said, how many times can you buy the same movie?
He says that every time.
Yeah, and you know what? But at the same time, I'm kind of feeling the same way because it's like, damn, I already have so many copies of that movie. I already have it on 4K, which I brought out as well. I bought the Turbine
nice.
special one that's got the art from the VHS.
Yeah.
And like this cover to me is way cooler than that one. Like I think this one is awesome. The only thing is like, the menus and crap are in German. But I mean the movie is in English. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, this one's pretty good. And I mean, again, kind of like what he said, how much better is it going to look? It ain't going to look that much better. And then he said, how much more are we going to see about this movie? And the answer is probably very little. There's probably very little we're going to know because the biggest people that were in the movie, Marilyn Burns, Toby Hooper that made it, Gunnar Hansen, Jim Seedow, they're all dead. So, I mean, they can't contribute anything. I mean, sooner or later, there ain't going to be anybody left. Gunnar's book, Chainsaw Confidential. If you ever wanted to know anything about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, listen to his book. It's on Audible. He reads it. There you go. It's like, I want to say it's at least like 8 hours of him just talking about them making the movie. So
yeah, I've never read it. I've always wanted to. I did get the I have the Dark Sky 4K I have pre-ordered, but I have the Blu-ray that's the 4K scan, and I actually saw this at the local theater here in Nashville, the Belcourt. I saw the 4K remaster of this movie in 2014. So I feel like I've seen whatever transfer they're putting out now, but I still
want about it. That one.
Yes, I did, and that's the one I have. Yeah.
And you know what? I was there as well at.
Oh, you were there?
2014. Yes, I was there. That was with John Dugan was there.
Yes, I did. I remember. I don't remember what I asked. I asked a question. I don't recall what it was. I just recall like the mic wasn't working, so people were like, "Speak up!"
Yeah.
or something.
There was a couple of people there dressed like Leatherface, and they looked like incredible.
Wow.
I was like amazed. Do you remember that? There were people that are dressed like him, and I was like, oh my God, they look so good.
So oddly enough, that day is kind of an odd day. That was the day that I met my wife on our first date.
Oh, wow.
So I went up to the zoo with her, and then that night I saw Texas Chainsaw at midnight. So it's kind of a weird day in general. But
it was a good showing. I enjoyed that showing.
Oh yeah, it was awesome, especially just hearing people's reaction who had never seen it. But yeah, I agree. I mean, the look of this, the special features are great, probably because it's Second Sight. But I think I'm just going to stick with the Dark Sky one that I have pre-ordered because, this is still the 4K's region free, but the Blu-rays aren't. So you still got to deal with that.
Yeah,
and then you got to order it.
The only thing I hesitate on is, whenever Second Sight, I love the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's probably my second favorite horror movie behind Halloween. So I feel like whenever this goes out of print, because it's definitely going to, I'm going to regret not getting it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get that freaking Dawn of the Dead. And I regret not getting that so bad because it's so expensive.
Yeah.
It is insanely expensive. I did end up getting this one, which is also a 4K. It's the same discs as
Wow.
the other one, but it's like smaller. It's not
Huh.
like that huge set. It doesn't come with the CD or anything in that booklet.
Mm-hmm.
And I just liked the way that other one looked because it was like green.
Yeah.
So I very much regret not getting that.
Yeah, I missed that. I have the for the second site, I have the Martin 4K pre-ordered. I don't. The reason I don't order from them mostly, so I ordered Martin from Diabolic. It's because
Uh-huh.
Second Sight, I don't think you can order to the US from Second Sight.
No, they don't ship to the US. So you got to go through like Orbit or Diabolic.
Yeah, that's such a weird. I just don't. I understand that that's not really in their control. They're just putting the movie out, but that's just such a weird. It's strange to me how they get praised so much because it's just such a hard thing to get. When you have to go through those resellers like that. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of frustrating because I understand there's probably a monetary reason they don't put stuff out in the US, but that's just so like the whole Dawn of the Dead thing. That was so silly. Like I just thought to
Yeah.
myself, they're just throwing money. They're not, they're leaving money on the table. But I guess
It
they don't
sucks though, because
control it.
like that Dawn of the Dead is
Mhm.
probably the best Dawn of the Dead we're ever gonna get.
I've
Like
heard. I haven't seen it, but that's what I hear.
well, I watched bits and pieces of it when I got it, that version, because it's the same actual 4K, but it
Hmm.
looks really, really good.
Yeah.
And like just that edition being that, it's like this thick, it's huge. The other one, and it's got the CD and a booklet, and it's like super nice. That's probably the best edition they'll ever have.
Wow. I have I've got the old Anchor Bay, the Devimax Dawn of the Dead
Mm.
DVD. That's all I have. I missed out on the Blu-ray, and it's just one of those things. And I saw it recently when it was on at the Regal. I watched it in 3D. So Dawn is one of those things. I definitely eventually want to get a 4K of some sort, but I missed out on that big set, and at this point, it's like I don't know. Until they do a
Yeah,
US release, I guess I'm just gonna wait.
yeah, yeah. I wish I would have gotten that, but it is what it is. And then there's another release that I got let's see, 3 more releases that I thought were interesting.
Hmm.
So let's see. This is one of them that I was going to talk about.
Nice.
This is one where I'm like, I ain't getting that. Uncle Bill said that too. Like, I ain't getting
Wow.
that. I don't even have the Blu-ray of this, but I ain't
Really?
getting it. Yeah, I ain't getting it. I would get the Blu-ray, but
Yeah.
I don't need a 4K of this. I
Yeah.
don't need a 4K of this. Maybe if this gets really cheap, I'll buy it instead of the Blu-ray because the Blu-ray is like $10.
Yeah. I
And
have
there's
the
no way I
Blu-ray.
would pay like 27 or 29 or however much they are when they come out instead. Like there's just no way. I mean, it's just not, I don't know. I don't think it's worth it to me.
No, they've been doing that so much, and I have the Blu-ray of that. It's fine. I mean, Scream Factory. I know it's been said by everybody, but it's just like they just keep doing that. Like they put out a 4K of something they have, and I've had to stop it. I mean, even lately, like they put out. I think coming out soon is Bubba Hotep. And I love Bubba Hotep, but I have the Blu-ray, and I'm just like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not buying the same movie that barely has any
Right.
difference on it. And the only time I'm gonna do that in the future is for Big Trouble in Little China. I will rebuy that because that's my favorite movie. But that's like the only one I've told myself I'll do that with. So
I want to get Return of the Living Dead because I love that movie. So I might
yeah,
get that at some point, but like that's about it.
yeah.
But
I had Return of the Living Dead the Blu-ray and
uh-huh.
sold it. I sold it for like 40 because I was going to get that 4K, and then I never got the 4K because the 4K was
Oh
too
wow.
much. Because it's still like 30 something now, and I'm just like, man, so I
Yeah.
didn't get it.
And then I got this one on there that I'm actually going to get this because I don't have this on Blu-ray. And I think
Yeah.
this is a very underrated movie. And I don't hear people talk about it. And I think it's actually a really good Wes Craven movie.
Hmm.
Have you seen
Yeah.
this one?
Yeah. I saw it. I think I saw it once or twice when it came out. I rented it. I remember liking it. It's like a thriller. It's in the airplane. I keep meaning to rewatch it. But I think I've only seen it maybe like once, maybe twice. So it's been a long time.
It's honestly a pretty good movie. I think Cillian Murphy's really good in it, and it's, might be the last really good movie Wes made, I think.
Yeah, you might be right on that, because I think that was when, I'm trying to think, he did My Soul to Take. That was 2010, and then that was like the mid 2000s.
Yeah, because I don't really care about Scream 4, so
yeah, no, that definitely does not count.
So I know a lot of people would say that was his last movie, but I don't know. I think it was Red Eye.
Yeah,
My Soul to Take is fun, but it's not that. It's really not that good.
No.
And then this is the last one I had to talk about. I like the movie. Mm-hmm. I don't have it on Blu-ray. I probably ain't gonna get this.
I have this on Blu-ray, just the plain Jane old edition, not even Scream Factory. It's like, I don't remember who put it out. It's like from like 10 years ago. Because I like the movie, it's fun, but I'm not going to get to 4K. I'm good with the old Blu-ray. Honestly.
I mean, this movie came out in what year did this movie come out? Like 2000,
probably 2003 or 4, 2 maybe. It was early. Maybe it's not that old. I don't know.
Well, I know it was after. It had to be after Saw, because that was James Wan's first movie. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I don't know.
It came out in 2007. So Blu-ray was already out at that point. So you might have had one that was like one of the earliest Blu-rays.
It might be, honestly, because I remember renting it and then I bought it eventually. It's a fun movie, but I don't think it's another one of those with Scream Factory where it's just like you saying, like a 4K. Like, really? Like, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't care that much. Like 4K is for me. Like, I bought Halloween. I bought all those Halloweens because I love Halloween. But like,
sure.
I'll buy movies on 4K if I don't have them on Blu-ray for the most part, unless they're like, brand new. Whenever Scream Factory puts something out brand new, even if I don't have it on Blu-ray, I don't want to spend, like Return of the Living Dead. I won't spend $35 or whatever it was. Like,
right.
No thanks. That's too much for one movie, unless it's some real cool like packaging or something. But they're just the regular ones, like Alligator. I got that on on 4K, but I bought it on 4K when it was $14.
Oh wow!
I wasn't gonna spend 30 something on that.
I think I spent. I do have that on 4K. I think I spent 30, but I think it was like it was a weekend. I bought it and Psycho together when they put out Psycho again on 4K. Yeah, I mean, some of those, it kind of, and I'm like that. It's like when it goes down in price, I'm willing to bite maybe, but I just think they put out a lot of stuff that's just kind of like when they started getting into things like Valentine 2001 and like, what is it? House of Wax remake, which I like the House of Wax remake, but they're getting into that territory of like early 2000s horror movies. I was just like, that's a weird. Oh, you got it. Okay, you got it.
It's not that bad of a movie, actually.
No, I mean, I have the old Blu-ray, but it's like,
yeah, it's like, would I upgrade that? No.
Yeah, it's like what they do is they take these movies that were like $10 and then they just like redo some stuff and then they're like $30, and I'm like, what?
There's no way I'd buy half this crap. I've already had it. But the only ones I usually buy are ones that I just don't have.
Agreed.
But what do you got?
Well, the big thing, I don't remember if we talked about that. Did we talk about Skinamarink? Have we discussed that yet?
I don't remember. Think so, a little. I think we were talking about it, but I hadn't seen it.
It's not even a movie. Like, I think it's starting to get a little more traction, and I think Shudder is going to premiere it soon.
Oh, really?
So when I watched it, I watched it at home, and I could not get through all of it. I started it after about 30 minutes. I just couldn't handle it. I was just like going through it a little bit, and I couldn't finish it. It's not even really a movie. It's more like it's kind of like an artistic thing. It's like a lot of people say, so most people I've talked to hate it. The people who like it say the same thing. They say, if you go into a movie theater and with a ton of people and the lights are off, it's a good experience. I just think it's just because the way it is it's like it's an hour and a half or an hour and 45 minutes. There's hardly any dialogue. There's not much that happens. It's a still camera that's like angled weird. You don't really know what's happening. So it's really like an exercise on your patience.
Yeah, that sounds like if you got to watch a movie and you got to have this happen and this happen and this happen for it to be good, then it's like, is it even good?
Yeah. It's kind of people kept talking about like David Lynch movies, but it's not. I wouldn't even say it's David Lynch. Like even Eraserhead, that's a movie. Like David Lynch would think this movie is weird. Like there's nothing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like it's really just not even a movie. It's almost like ASMR. It's
the
like
way you're describing it, it sounds like a film school movie or something.
Yeah, it's like something you would put on to like go to sleep to. Like you just put it on and it's spooky and you just go to sleep. Like there's nothing. I would definitely at least like watch some trailers.
Yeah, I've seen absolutely nothing. The only thing I've seen is like people keep talking about this like phone or something. It's like toy phone.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I've seen of it, and that's it. I haven't seen any trailers, haven't seen anything like that. I've just seen some like memes where it's like, who could have thought this toy phone would be scary or something like that? Right. And I'm like, what the heck is this?
I would definitely at least look at some trailers for it. I don't know if I would recommend watching it all, but other than that, I mean, I know that the Knock at the Cabin movie's coming out soon.
Knock at the Cabin. I have not heard of that.
Yeah, it's that M. Night Shyamalan movie with Batista, where it's like the end of the world. And
oh, you know what? That does sound familiar. Maybe I have seen something about that.
Yeah, they're like it's like these people go to this couple's cabin, and they're telling them they have to sacrifice them. One of them has to sacrifice each other for the end of the world, and a lot of people are really excited about that. I loved old M. Night Shyamalan. I just can't get excited for him anymore. I have to just go into this thinking this movie will be bad, and if it's good, then I'm going to be surprised.
Yeah, I think for the most part, most of the movies he's made in the last while have been pretty bad. The only one that I liked really was The Visit. I thought that one was pretty fun.
Yeah.
But that's about it. And I like The Happening just because it's so dumb. But, But I mean, as a serious movie, no.
Oh, no. I miss his... I mean, old filmmaker, his old movies, he did some great stuff. I mean, I even love Signs. I love that movie. But I just think it's almost like he just ran out of ideas. And then he just felt like he had been doing it so long, I might as well just keep making movies. And I don't know. I have a friend of mine. He's always defending him. He's always just like, "Oh yeah, it's gonna be great." I'm like, man, it's like the Rob Zombie thing. You're just like asking for.
Yeah, I didn't see that old movie put out, and I was like, I don't don't want to see it. There's nothing that makes me interested in that. And then it came out, and people were like, it's okay.
Yeah, I didn't watch it either. Okay. I did watch The Visit. I like The Visit. I agree. I didn't watch Old though. I skipped on that one.
Yeah, I thought The Visit was pretty good. Not a bad movie. He's made some like great movies, and he's made some abominations. So
yeah. The only other thing lately there was a trailer for a movie called The Boogeyman I saw, which looked okay. It's a kind of like another movie about a kid and her father, and there's a spirit or something in the house, and it's the boogeyman.
I heard about it, but
yeah.
I'll tell you, the Boogeyman movie. Let's see if it's original.
Oh, are you talking
There's
about the
one-
80s one? The old one?
No, not that one. Not that one. That one's fun, but not that one. There's only one movie, and this one's called Boogie Men. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of that. I haven't seen it, but yeah.
I remember I rented this when I was younger, and I was like, oh shit, are all these gonna be in this? Like I thought it was gonna be like a versus movie or something. Little did I know. It's just a clip show, basically. It's pretty good though. I like it. It's got that Boogeyman song by Rob Zombie in it, so that that's a fun song. I like that song.
Yeah, I never watched that. I remember seeing that for rent back in the day.
Yeah, it's actually not too bad. It's fun if you like are trying to introduce somebody to all these horror movies. It's not a bad place to start because it's got like 20 and it's got like profiles on them before it shows a clip from the movie, and it shows like for the most part it's really good clips for each person except for like Jason, because they only had the rights to the Doolon stuff, so it's like Jason from Jason Goes to Hell. It's like okay.
All the weird ones.
Yeah. But like Leatherface, they had the original, and then like Freddy, they did the scene where he's like chasing Tina. And then like Pinhead, they did the scene at the end where he gets Frank. And then like Halloween, they did the scene where he attacks Laurie. So I mean they picked the good scenes.
Wow. Well, that's good. At least show the good stuff of it. Yeah,
but they have like weird choices on here too. Like it's like Pinhead, Freddy, Leatherface, Ghostface, Chucky, which is cool. But then they have like Simon from The Ugly, which that's a good movie, but it's like weird choice. And then they have Camilla, who's from that movie The Guardian.
That's weird.
And they got The Dentist on there.
Oh, really?
Too.
Corbin Burnson?
Yeah. The Dentist.
Oh man, that is something else. I bought that recently.
I've went to 3 Walmarts and have not seen it.
So I watched it. I watched both. I'd never seen them. I watched the first one, watched the first disc. The second disc did not work. It was like doing this. Yeah, it was doing this like screensaver thing where the intro would load for the screen for the Blu-ray menu. And I thought it was like just a long intro, but it just kept doing that. So I had to return it. I'm getting another one, but no one else said they had that problem. So it could have just been.
See, I haven't seen anything from The Dentist except for what's on this movie. Which is like the scene where he like, I don't even know. He's got like this lady in the chair and he's like pulling her teeth or something. And she's like screaming and stuff. That's the only thing I've seen of it. So I want to get that. Vestron stuff is awesome. I love Vestron stuff. Like when I picked up that Silent Night Deadly Night set they did. See, that stuff I'll get, and I would easily double dip on anything they put out because it's like $10. I mean, why would you not get it?
Yeah, man, I definitely would. I got the Silent Night, and I would definitely recommend The Dentist. It's kind of it's just something about those 90s horror movies like that. They're just fun and silly. I don't know if it's like nostalgic for me. I'm not sure what it is, but it's just something about 90s horror movies like that, and like Head of the Family and Dr. Giggles and that shit. I just love that.
90s horror is awesome. Underrated. Yeah. But like Vestron, like I'll get shit like this. It's like, I know this is terrible. It's terrible. But for $7,
it's pretty cheap.
This is a nice ass package for $7.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. You can't beat their prices. They put out some pretty awesome stuff. I mean, honestly, and the Silent Night series. I mean, that's those movies are not good, but they're fun just to watch.
Whenever this came out, this was freaking awesome because I actually liked these movies. So when it came out, I was like, sweet, and it was like $40 when it came out. I swear to God, the week after this came out, I got it at a flea market, and I need to scratch this off the front of this, but I got it for freaking $10. I was like,
whoa,
what?
Really?
Who bought this? And then immediately said, I'm going to sell it for a quarter of the price.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. especially the people who would own that movie, like to sell
They,
it.
yeah. I'm thinking maybe it was like stolen or something weird happened because there's like no real reason that should happen. But
Yeah, that is weird. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much most of the stuff this week. I guess we can go into the topic. So I guess today we were talking about it. We were talking about movie posters, and I was just thinking it would be fun to do like a sort of a top 10 favorite horror one sheet posters ever. Not
right.
necessarily 10 to 1, or you might be. Mine aren't necessarily like the best and the worst, just more
No,
so
and
just 10 that, you know.
for me, these are 10 that I really love. Some of them, this is not necessarily my top 10 favorite ever, but
Mhm.
they're 10 that I really like. So I like all, some of these would be in my top 10. Not all of them. I tried to mix it up, pick some that, because if I did my top 10, to be honest, they'd probably be like several Halloween movies, several Nightmare on Elm Street
Right.
movies, several Friday the 13th movies. Like, I first, those are the ones that I remember growing up, like going into the like to the rental store, and I'd see the VHS covers, and I'm like, oh man. So like those are the posters that I love, and it
Definitely.
happens to be most of those. But there's some others that I got here. So, but do you want to kick us off with one of yours?
Sure. I think I spoiled my first one already, but number one, I'll go with classic Halloween 2.
Yep, and that is an expensive one sheet. Also, I've been trying to get one of those, and they are in the $200-300 range. Very nice poster. You know, over time though, oddly for me, and this might sound kind of weird, but
Mhm.
I've liked this one less and less over time. Weird, I know. I used to, whenever I was younger, I freaking loved this poster. It might have been my favorite, but now I don't know. It's not my favorite anymore.
I just think yeah, I love the pumpkin and the letters. I mean, I love the OG poster, but this one's just kind of, I don't know. I think the pumpkin and all, it just seems like it would be cool to have. I've looked at it before, the prices. I got pretty close on getting some reprints, but I just, part of me just really wants to see if I can ever get an original. So I might just wait. Um,
Yeah, and I'll say this for movie posters, I probably, unless it's something that's just like entirely impossible to get, I probably will never get a reprint because now I'm so entrenched in getting these originals. If I had a reprint up, I don't think I could like live. Like I've got a Nightmare on Elm Street uh,
mhm,
reprint over there, but
mhm.
the only reason I don't really want a one sheet of that, A, they're super expensive, but
Right.
B, I got that signed by like the whole cast, so I'm that I'll take an exception for that.
Oh yeah, for sure. What you got for your number one?
Okay, so this is just in no order. So let me get this one out.
Oh snap! Nice.
Friday, this is my favorite Friday the 13th one sheet. Friday the 13th, part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan.
That's
I
awesome.
think this is the coolest one to me out of all of them because
Mhm,
like number 1 is pretty cool. Number 2 is text. Number 3 is pretty cool, which I have. Number
mhm.
4, text. Number 5, text. Number 6 is pretty cool. I have that one too. 7's cool. But this one to me, I don't know what it is. I've always loved this
Mhm.
art. It is so cool. I don't know when Jason got this cool Bowie knife like Ghostface, but
Mhm.
very, I don't know. It's just so cool.
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, that and Scream kind of the new Scream movie kind of I feel like they kind of get a little bit of inspiration from that just with the New York thing and I've
And
seen some
it's not my favorite, but movie, but it's
Mhm.
my favorite poster.
Oh man, yeah, it's killer. I think it's I don't love the movie, but the poster, I mean, it's definitely one of the best ones for that. Let's see. For my number 2, I'm gonna go with My Bloody Valentine. I don't have this one either. This is another one. I love this movie. I just love this poster because it's just so creepy with the mask, the gas mask thing, the miner's mask, and I don't know. It's one of these. I don't see this for sale a lot, but I feel like at this point in my life, if I saw this for under $200, I'd probably just get it because I don't know.
The ones I see that are folded
Mm-hmm.
are like 200 to 300, and the rolled ones I don't even know. But while we're on this topic,
oh man,
I have a rolled.
Oh no, you got it.
Yeah.
No way, you got it. Holy crap.
That I had out for this video. I actually just recently got this one, but it's rolled and everything.
That's real?
Yep, this is an original one sheet.
Oh man, it's nice.
Rolled. Yeah, that's kind of funny you had that on there because I was like, well, actually, that's one of the ones I brought today because I actually just got this and I was like, I got a really good deal on it, and I was like, that's one that I really like that I didn't know if you would pick or not, and then you did pick it. So.
Yeah, it's one that I don't see it a lot, and I do want to get it at some point, but that's pretty cool, man. And getting a roll, I know that's not cheap.
Yeah, I was not, well, I got a really good deal on it. I was bidding on it on an auction, and I was looking at the price on it, and I said, okay, and I started looking on eBay for what rolled ones sold for, and then somebody right that moment posted a rolled one for like, I'll tell you, it was $80, which is like insanely cheap. And I was like, oh, buy now.
$80?
Yeah, $80.
That's crazy, man. Damn.
Yeah, I got a steal on that one. Oh, man.
That's insane.
Yeah, I just got that in the mail yesterday, too. So,
man. So would that count as your next one, or do you have a different one you want to show?
Yeah, we'll let that count as my next one. If we get any repeats, I'll go.
Man, that's funny. We both picked that one.
That was so cool.
Definitely,
it's so cool.
I got. Let's see. Go with Monster Squad for. I believe this is number 3.
You know, that's a cool one, and I'm gonna shock the world here. I've never seen this movie.
What?
Yeah, I've never seen this movie.
Oh my gosh, man. You gotta watch that. This is like this is definitely I would say that Halloween 2 is the movie that got me into being like a real horror fan, but this is the movie that was the gateway drug for me. This is like the movie that was like when I was a kid, when I was like 6 or 7, I saw this and this was like, oh, these are what scary movies are. And this is not really even, I mean, it's like a comedy, kids movie, horror movie, kind of like it's got some Stranger Things type vibes. But man, this is like a must watch. And yeah, this poster, I don't have the one sheet, but I do have on my wall way back here, I have an 11 by 17 of this, it's just kind of a print I got at a con once. It's like a reprint. But I would love to get a full 24 by 36 or 27 by 41 of this one day. So
yeah, that one's really cool. I've never seen it, but I do really like the poster. And of course I've seen tons of clips from it and stuff. It seems like a movie I'd really like. But I gotta see it. I gotta get it and I gotta watch it.
Yeah, and it's probably going to get another release at some point because Lionsgate put it out, Olive Films put it out. Both of those releases are there's the Lionsgate one is old, and Michael Felcher worked on that one. But I would bet at some point somebody's going to do a 4K, whether it's Vestron or somebody. So, yeah.
All right. So for my next one, I am going to pick this one, and I'm going to share my screen on this one. And hold on one sec. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. So anyways, so I shared my screen for this one. This one is one that I would love to get. It's the Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 one sheet.
That's very cool.
To be honest, I have never seen this one online for sale anywhere. I've never seen it, not once. And I I love this movie. It's so dumb.
Oh
But
yeah,
I love
it's
this. I
awesome.
love this movie. I like it way more than the first one. Now, the first, I could have put the first one sheet on here because, of course, that one's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
But this one, I would want more because I prefer this movie over the first one. Because, I mean, this movie has everything you want from the first one. And then it's got even more crazy awesomeness. So, what I grabbed was my I have an 11x17 and the frame's broke. I got to replace it, but it's signed by
Oh, nice.
Eric Freeman.
Oh
This
wow,
is it's garbage day.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
and you know what?
amazing.
He sent me whenever he sent me this. That guy is so cool. He sent me this. He sent me a Christmas card that says like it's garbage day. Have a merry effing Christmas, and then like.
Wow.
Yeah, and he like signed like all sorts of stuff for me, and I was like, that is really cool.
That's always kind of fun when they know when they go with it, and they're not uptight about that stuff. That's one,
Yeah, and that
I
movie.
don't think I've ever seen that for sale anywhere, to be honest. I've seen the first one sheet, but I've never seen any of the sequels for sale because I'm like you.
Yeah,
If I probably would just buy it.
yeah,
you know,
I would totally buy it, but I look on eBay all the time for all these movies and shit, and
yeah.
I don't ever see that one on for sale, and I want it. I really want it. I love that movie. I
Mhm.
love this release of that. Well, shit, that's the wrong movie. I love this release of that movie. I know this
Oh
is now
yeah, yeah.
apparently rare or something, but
Mm.
freaking awesome. I had to get this. I mean, crap.
Yeah, I don't have that Blu-ray. I've got one, and then the Vestron trilogy, but I don't have two. I need to get that at some point.
Well, apparently it's out of print now.
Oh, great.
It'll be on 4K.
Hmm.
That will be one I'll double dip because got to see Ricky in 4K, man.
Absolutely, garbage day, Dolby Atmos.
Dude, that stunt man in that scene, he shoots at that car and then it comes like an inch from killing him. I need to like watch the commentary on that because like that car almost kills whoever that is.
Yeah, that could have been a close call that they just kept on. That
Yeah,
definitely
because
can
like
happen.
I always, and I love that. It's like we're talking about a movie called Silent Night, Deadly Night. It's a Christmas slasher where this guy is walking around in broad daylight, sunny day, shooting people with a gun.
Yeah, and that clip, I didn't watch it all the way until maybe a few years back, and it's definitely an interesting movie. Like that clip is the most infamous, but there's a lot of stuff in that movie that's pretty funny. I think
Oh, dude, yes.
that clip kind of is the only thing people ever see, but there's a lot to it. I definitely would recommend it for people.
Well, my favorite, he's at the beginning of the movie, he's like talking to this guy, and he's like, "You pencil neck piece of shit." What?
Yeah, it's such.
But he
The
says so
comment.
many weird things, like, and his eyebrows move all the time. He's like, I'm like, what the heck? He's
Yeah,
like, just so many good lines. Like, he's like, red car, good point. It's like, what?
he's very like I don't know. It's like he emotes with his face. It's almost like he's overacting the whole
Oh
movie.
man.
I don't know who told him to do that, but
And then he kills that one guy that looks kind of like John Cryer. He like blows his eyeballs out, and he's like, and then he turns around to his girlfriend or whatever, and he's like, punish, and she goes, oh, like the most like cartoon reaction possible. No one would ever say that.
I know. Yeah,
Oh my
that's
god.
God, we almost could do an episode on that whole series. There's just so much to that.
Oh yeah.
I would say my next one, let's see, number 4, pretty classic, Dawn of the Dead. Also don't own this one on one sheet. I've seen I've seen a lot of reprints. This is one of those you can find in a lot of like comic book stores. Seems like this gets reprinted a lot. You can find it for like $10, but a real Dawn of the Dead, I'm not sure I've ever seen a real one sheet of this in the wild. So, I mean, I know they exist. I've just never seen one in person.
Yeah,
So.
I don't think I've ever seen one face to face. I've seen them on auction before for like, I want to say the going rate for one of these is like 400 for that one. There's one though that has a green background, I'm pretty sure, instead of that like
Yes.
pinkish hue. That one's way expensive. If I was gonna get one, I would get that one. And I don't ever see those for sale. I bet that's probably like more than $1,000 or something.
Yeah. Yeah. The green one is pretty cool too. I like it. It's, that's kind of how I'd probably prefer this one over that one, but I wouldn't be too picky if the price is right. I mean, I don't know what I would pay for this if I saw it. It's just hard to say. Like most of these scenarios, when it's something like this, anything under 200, I'm in. But I
Yeah.
think over 200 is kind of where I'm like, I don't know.
There's
Because,
only a few posters I'll pay over 2 for, and it's got to be something that I know is worth way more than 200.
yeah, and a lot of these, it's like you were saying earlier, it's also a circumstance of how common are they? How rare is it? Because I mean, even if it's something as cool as that, they exist. There's many out there, so there's
Right.
not that urgency to just drop a ton of money on it.
Yeah, that would be one that I would get if the price was right, but I'm not gonna go out and spend a crazy amount of money on it because
No,
it's one I love it, but it's not my favorite. But
yeah,
but next I'm gonna do one I got. Let's see. And this is in no particular order. I'll just go ahead and let's see, which one do I want to do next? I'll just go ahead and get this one out of the way. For this one, I'm gonna go with this poster right here.
nice.
The original Halloween one sheet. And for this poster, there's actually three different versions of this one sheet.
Huh.
You have this one right here, which you can't really see, but down here, the ratings box is black. And then in the white border, there's nothing. I guess I could like pull this over here. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. The ratings box on this one is black, and there's nothing in the border. For this one, I feel like this is probably the first. I think this one is the first release of this movie because there's nothing down here. A lot of people will tell you if this is blue, that's from the original 78 release, and the ones that are black, because there's two that are black.
Yeah.
The other one that's black has like a little paragraph right here that they're from 79 when it was re-released. But I think this is the first because this has nothing at the bottom. So that means they didn't get it like through the screen service or nothing. But I also have one of the ones that has the blue ratings box in my bedroom. So I'm not just saying that because some people might be like, well, you're just saying that because you don't have the other one. But I do have both.
Wow.
I do have a blue and a black. So I'm not saying that because of that. I'm just saying that because, because I think that it has no information, so they didn't get it certified by the because on original posters, most of the time, unless it was like a real small release, you're like Halloween, you're going to see some kind of paragraph from the National Screen Service, and there is nothing on that one. So I think that's the very first release poster of that. But and of course, both the ones I have are folded. I don't have a rolled one. Those are insanely expensive.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's a holy grail. I mean, and I didn't even know that, what you just said about the differences. I wasn't aware. I would never know to even check for that. That's pretty cool, though. I mean, that's a I mean, that's not in my list, but I mean, of course, I'd love one of those. I mean, that's one of those for me. I just gave up on trying because I just thought to myself, this day and age, Halloween 78, it's like you're gonna pay for it, right? If you see it. So
right.
I'm not in that position where I would,
I'm a nerd for this type of shit, so I know all this stuff about these, and I've researched these so much just because whenever I bought both of these, and the only reason I bought that other one in there, I actually recently bought that one with the blue ratings box, and the reason I got it is because I got an incredible deal. Otherwise, I wouldn't have got it, but
yeah.
with that deal, I was like, there is no way I can't get it. And I'm probably just gonna keep both. I know I could probably sell this one and get a pretty penny off of it because it's in really, really good shape. But I don't know. It's my favorite movie. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can part with one.
No, I don't blame you. I mean, especially having two and then getting one on a deal. I mean, like,
But
it's Halloween.
this is right. This is not another. This is not like another one of my choices. I just wanted to share this since we're talking about Halloween posters. This one, let's see. All right. This one right here, this is the Australian one sheet for Halloween.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good one.
I would love to have this one. I really like this. It's the only one that's got Michael Myers actually on the poster. Oh my God. There's only one for sale right now.
So that is what the Australian one sheets were. I've always wondered if that was real or like a kind of like a not a VHS art, but I always wondered if that was actually one of the one sheets. That's kind of cool to know.
Yep, it absolutely is. And that one that I just showed, that is actually not a one that's currently for sale. That one has already sold. I'll show. Well, shit, that's the same.
Probably sold for like 1,000, didn't it?
No, it's that one sold for 2,900.
Woo. My gosh, it's like 1/3 of my truck.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on one sec. Let's see if I can get this one pulled up. Oh shit. No, I'm not trying to buy.
I feel like Halloween posters in general, like that franchise, now it's like a subgenre of one sheets and altogether because it's just so, like you were talking about, like rolled, like folded. It's probably gotten to the point to where if you have an actual Holy Grail 78 that's perfect, I feel like that thing could go for like $30,000 if it's like perfect,
Well, I saw one of these with the Bob Gleason pumpkin that was rolled and perfect, and the guy paid. I'm a member of a poster thing on Facebook. He paid $7,000 for it. So I think the going rate for one of those is really probably like 4 or 5, but they're just going to get more expensive. Like this one right here is sitting around 7, 8. Yeah. And then the blue one I got in there is anywhere between 1,500 and 2,000. This bad boy that I got on screen right now, it's for sale for a lovely $6,195.
Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous.
So I would love to have it, but there is no way in the world I would ever pay that kind of coin unless I was like a millionaire or something.
That's like I feel like that's like Sean Clark, what he does when he buys his merch. Sean Clark
has he's got one of those.
And they're cool. One. I mean, I don't fault anyone for buying it. It's cool, man. I mean, if you can afford it, I think for me, I just have like a limit in my head with these things. And it's not, I could probably, some things I could save up for if I wanted, but I just don't, I don't know. Yeah. I like to pose them, but to me, it's not really so much about the quality of them. But I also understand the opposite side of that of getting a deal for one that's really rare and wanting to put some money into the frame. I mean, so.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, I'm only going one sheets from now on. I'm not going to get any reproductions unless it's just something crazy. But I'm not going to take a loan out for a poster. Like I'm not going to be doing that.
Hell no.
So if I would not have, if you told me, because I bought, to be honest, I got into this really hard like this last year. If you told me that I would have not only one but 2 Halloween originals, I would have shit my pants.
Like, you'd be like, no way.
I would have like, nah, there's no effing way. But yep, I do.
I guess let's see for my next one. Let's see here. I will go with Fright Night 85. I don't have this one either. I've looked for this poster, I've looked at this one a lot. I've looked at the sequel. I almost bought the sequel a couple of times. There's like a German one sheet that was on eBay. I didn't pull the trigger, but there's a few times I almost got it. This one, I forget how much this goes for, but it's definitely one I'd like. I just love that classic artwork and the Amanda, Amy in the movie, Amanda Bierce at the top, the vampire cloud. I just think that's so cool. So
I think you're looking at least 600 for this, maybe, but most of the time you're looking at like high sevens, 800 for this poster. This is one I originally had this on my list, but took it off. I've had a couple opportunities to get these, but the ones that I've been offered are like 300-400, and that's still just a little too steep for me to pull the trigger on. But I love it. It's an awesome poster for honestly my favorite vampire movie. Awesome poster.
Yeah, and it's like when you get to that 300-400, that's when you start, because you start having that conversation with yourself where you're like, okay, that's like a PlayStation 5 almost, or an Xbox.
Yeah, exactly. Like, do I really need it? It's a movie I love, but it's not Halloween to me. There's only one, there's only a couple posters I would spend that much on, and that's not one of them.
Yeah,
although I do love.
I think eventually I probably will get the sequel, because I've looked at that enough to where I could probably score that one somehow.
Right.
And the sequel poster is similar to this one, and I like the sequel. So
over a condo.
Yeah. So I might eventually get that and just pull the trigger, because I feel like I could get that one for under 100, not too much of a problem. So
yeah, and I was gonna say, that poster reminds me. This is not one of my choices, but it always reminded me of this poster.
Yeah, it does.
Like it looks like the same. I've always thought that's like the same freaking poster.
Yeah, they could have, that in that movie, they could have ripped off Fright Night, because that was like, I think that movie came out in the late 80s.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did. So because Fright Night came out the same year that the first Return of the Living Dead came out.
Yeah.
So yeah, this one was from 87. So yeah, definitely ripped it off, I would say. Or it could be the same artist. I don't know.
Yeah, I never thought about that. I guess it could be, but I never. Now that I'm seeing it, it does seem like a rip off a bit.
But all right, and it's weird too with this the poster thing, because I noticed Dead Pit posted the other day. It's like, oh, we're gonna do this poster stream, and I was like, oh shit.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I was laughing because I was thinking we were just talking about this.
Yeah, I was like, dang, I hope they don't think we're stealing their idea or anything. But I mean, hats off to them. They're the ones who got me into collecting posters. I would have never gotten into posters and shit if I wasn't for them, especially originals.
Nah, yeah, I love Wes and Uncle Bill. Nah, this is definitely, it's just coincidence, because we were just talking about it, and I was like, yeah, I don't talk about one sheets enough, so this would be kind of fun. So
yeah, and the thing about it too is it's a topic you can almost go back to infinitely, because there's so many damn one sheets. And I know, and a lot of the smaller horror movies, they're still cheap. So I can get all sorts of great one sheets for movies that, maybe aren't your Halloweens or Friday 13th, but they're awesome artwork. The 80s had so many kick-ass artworks,
Yeah.
So it's a never-ending thing.
Yes,
but for my next one, I am gonna present again. Trying to go in between what I do have and what I don't have.
Sure.
All right, there we go. So I have Return of the Living Dead. This photo is kind of dark, but I love this one sheet. It's awesome. I've had a couple opportunities to get it, but it's just not in that sweet spot for me price wise.
Yeah.
But this is an awesome poster.
Oh yeah.
And great. I've always loved this poster. It's just so cool.
I didn't even think about this one, and this is it's classic. I didn't have I don't have this one. I had a reprint that I have in the closet now, but it's it's one of Tarman. It's like a Tarman where his face is melting. I had that one on the wall for a while, but I've never had this one. This is like, man, this is a great one. Honestly, this would be an honorable one for me. Mention.
And this is another one that is expensive. It's probably $400 or $500.
Oh
So,
yeah.
Maybe if you get a good deal, it's like $3, but I never see one for like $100 or $200. So eventually I may get this one, but for now, I'm just going to have to look at these pictures.
Yeah, and it kind of makes you sick with this stuff because you realize so many of these movies, like 10 years ago, this stuff was not that big of a deal. Like getting these things
Yeah.
was pretty easy. And it was no one gave a shit. And then something happened and then horror became popular again. And now everything is hard to get. Like I feel so stupid because like years ago I could have been doing this a lot easier in my 20s and I just never thought about it. Never thought to
Dude.
look.
Oh man, that's why Dead Pit, they have so many damn posters.
Yeah.
They got them for like cheap as hell.
Yeah.
And man, that Halloween poster I showed earlier, that Australian one that's like 6,200. Back, this was over 10 years ago. I could have bought one for like 400. I was like, that's a lot of money. But now I'm like, damn, I regret not buying that.
Well, yeah. I mean, and you're right. That's still a lot of money even now. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know when that all changed. I'm not sure if it was maybe I don't know what made horror popular again, but there was definitely a shift in like the late I don't know if maybe in the past 5 or 6 years where horror just became like the thing again and it was like cool to like horror. So then eBay just went crazy and then COVID happened. And then now, like you were saying, it's like the only posters that you see for cheap are kind of like the random ass movies. Like you can find like a lot of the odd 80s movies that aren't popular, maybe like Demonoid or like Happy Birthday to Me. You can find stuff like that that's kind of like it's cool, but you may not think to buy a poster of it. But anything that has a name like that, it's like, damn, it's just going up automatically.
Yeah, even like 2000s movies are like those posters are getting expensive if it's something that was like really good.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh man.
Yeah, that was like I got a copy, and this is not on my list, but I got a VHS poster of the Burbs, and I got it I think 2 years ago. It was only like $29. It was real, but it was not perfect. It just had some like it was like a little bit of cuts on the top and bottom. And I hung it up and it looks great. You don't even know there's anything wrong with it. But I was just thinking, like, if that was in perfect condition, that would be like $300.
Right. Yeah. So. And the thing about it is, like, I got some posters that have like some minor rips or shit on them. Mm-hmm. But I ain't never going to sell any of this shit. I don't care.
No.
Like, I ain't never going to sell any of it. Unless this freaking Halloween poster was like $1 million or some shit. If it's going to pay my mortgage, I'll sell it. But, like, otherwise, I probably ain't going to sell
it. You could sell the one poster and buy, like, 30 other ones.
Yeah. But, like, I don't know. It's, I buy it. I like it. I know I spend a lot of money on it. But, I could spend more. For the most part, I got lucky with a lot of these. I'll say to anybody who really wants to buy posters, search eBay, search auctions that are ending soon. Look at auctions, bid on auctions. You'd be surprised. Some of this shit I got on auctions, like one I'll talk about in a minute over here, that I won on an auction for less than $100, and this thing's like probably a $400 or $500 poster.
Man.
You could get really good deals. And also look on random ass websites. Like the Halloween one I got with the blue border in there, I got it on some random ass dude's website. And he was selling it for cheap. Yeah, some random dude's website, and you think like same with this my next one that I'll talk about. I got it on some random dude's website. Like if you go on eBay and type in buy it now, you're gonna see like, them listed at like the highest price, what people want. And sometimes people will pay that for them. So that's technically like the going rate, but occasionally, like I did with that My Bloody Valentine, I just happened to catch it right when the dude posted and got a steal.
Yeah, I will say, yeah, the auctions and best offers. I've done a lot of best offers and gotten lucky sometimes. Sometimes you get people who will give it away, and then sometimes you'll get people who are just really wanting a nickel and dime. Like they'll have something that's like, I don't know, $60. You offer them 40, and they'll say 58. You're
Yeah,
like,
that's like
okay.
okay.
So yeah, for the next one for me, let's see. I'm gonna go with House 2, the second story, which this is kind of a
Oh
random
wow.
choice. I know. I actually have this poster, and I don't know. It's not. Oh man, you can't see it. It's over in the corner over here on the wall. Otherwise, I'd get it. But it is a one sheet. It's a real one. It's not perfect condition. It's folded. Um, but it's in the frame. It looks fine. I got it in a Target frame. It looks pretty good. I love this movie. I love House 1 and 2. This poster for me is just kind of like reminds me of childhood, renting this at the VHS store, just because something about it, just the colors and the look and the hand. It's so cool to have.
It is pretty awesome.
I know it's probably not. I mean, and it wasn't that much. Even the one that I got, I think it was like, it may have been $25 or $30. It wasn't much. And I feel like if you got this in great condition, it may only be like $100 if it's like perfect condition. So
Right.
not too much, not too bad if you ever want this one.
Yeah, man, that one actually looks pretty damn awesome. And speaking of that, no, I'm just kidding. Like,
Oh, you got it. That's like,
that would be weird as shit.
come in here.
Like, there is no freaking way that I would have that. But like, don't get me wrong, that is awesome, dude. I've seen it for sale, and I've thought about getting it a couple times. But man, the odds of me pulling that too, could you imagine? Like, we got My Bloody Valentine though, so that's cool.
That would
This one
fun.
I'm gonna share. This is not my choice, not my next one, but you got me kind of thinking about it. I got this on my list that I want for some odd reason. And I'll kind of explain why I want this. So let's see. Okay, is it on there?
All right.
Okay.
Nice. Children's Corner 2.
So I don't know why I want this. It's just I saw it in the video store, like posted on the video store, and I'm like, I gotta have this. Like, I remember this and this on VHS so much. Yeah. It's random. It's not even that expensive, but I just remember this one so much, and I'm like,
yeah,
dude, I want this. So I've got like a list of like a running list of posters that I want, and that's actually on there.
That looks cool. But that's I was gonna say
it's a video poster.
Yeah, Children of the Corn 2. I think that is that a Dimension film?
It is. Yep. Every one of them after the first, I think, is a Dimension film, and the third one's pretty cool too. It's got like this chick with like a scythe on it. It's pretty cool looking too. I remember all those covers because they're Dimension movies, like all the Dimension covers and shit, like The Crow, City of Angels. Like, I remember seeing that all the time. But for my actual next one, okay. And this is the one I was talking about that I got a really good deal on this one on an auction, man, because nobody else freaking bid on this.
Oh, wow. Holy crap.
Surprisingly, no one else bid on this shit. And I got it for like, I want to say before taxes and shipping, it was like 60.
Damn. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So that's why I say look at the auctions and stuff. It does have like some scratches up here in this corner. But like, other than that, it's in like perfect shape.
Man, that's killer. That's awesome artwork too.
Yeah, and this is my favorite Freddy art. I really love the second is oddly my favorite of all the movies, but this is my favorite art. I love this art. I always remember this art. It's just so damn cool. Part 4 is pretty cool too, and 1 and 2 are cool. But this is, if I had to pick one, that's why I brought this one.
Yeah.
Awesome. Maybe on another poster video, I'll bring another one. But this is my favorite. So,
nice.
Very, very awesome.
Nice. Yeah, part 2 is it's kind of it is the oddest one, but I will say the one thing about part 2 that I think really does work is Freddy. Like Freddy looks scary as hell in that movie. I think that's like of all the Freddy movies, that's like the scariest looking Freddy makeup I've seen. I don't know what it's something about just his eyes, like his eyes are like super like yellow and his
Uh-huh.
skin, it's just I don't know. I see that one and I just think to myself, that's
Yeah.
like the scariest, but
Yeah, Kevin Yeager did the makeup for Freddy on 2, and he made him look like a witch, is what he said he was trying to make him look like. And yeah, he's got those contacts in, and the whole movie too. His like, he's so sinister. He's like, you've got the body, And the rest of the
yeah.
movie though is like, Jesse, it's kind of like the opposite. It's like silly, and like the freaking bird exploding and stuff. Like it's silly combined with Freddy being serious as hell.
Oh
And
yeah.
one line from that movie, we're not, whenever we talk about this movie, we want to talk about this. But I got to say it every time I talk about the movie. My favorite line in the whole movie is, and I always made fun of this, and I never hear anyone mention this. He takes the glove, he goes to his little sister, and he says, "Wake up, little girl." And she gets up and she's like, "Oh, what is it?" And he goes, "It's late. Go back to sleep." I'm like, dude, I'd be pissed if somebody woke me up and said it's late and go back
Go
to sleep.
back to sleep.
I'm like, really, dude?
Oh man,
Really?
I really need to rewatch that one.
Oh
Obviously
man.
there's a lot of Mark Patton. I watched his documentary and there's definitely a lot of like gay undertones and stuff in the movie and it's kind of funny when you're as a kid you don't really I didn't really pick up on a lot of that as a kid because I just more so was just watching Freddy. I just didn't understand those type of things with movies. But I think now watching it, you're like, oh, that's definitely what they're doing here. And then just the whole relationship with Jesse and how he's changing, and it's just there's a
Yeah.
lot of subtext
It's
there for sure.
yeah, but it's such a fun movie. And then
Yeah,
like, the pool party scene, that scene's freaking awesome. And Freddy's like, such a badass, so evil in that movie. Like he just
hmm
walks into that fence and just bursts into flames. Like, and
yeah,
that guy shoots at him and he turns and looks at him with like the meanest ass face. Like, really? You just tried to shoot me?
yeah,
But
yeah.
like, oh my god, it's so cool.
That's definitely I would say 1, 2, and New Nightmare is probably the ones with Freddy is to me the most scariest. I think the
Yeah,
other
he
ones,
is
yeah,
freaking he's mean as hell in that movie. That movie, oh my god. He's so cool. I could talk about that movie ad nauseum. Like I love that movie. I've seen it so many times.
oh, that's
It's
great.
so crazy, but it's so entertaining though. And for me, that's what puts it above the other ones is just damn, it's good, but it's also fun as hell to watch. I know technically it might not be the best one, but for me, it's hands down my favorite.
It's kind of the I guess it's like the Friday part 5 of the Nightmare series. It's
Yeah,
the
and
one that's the
everybody
most
freaking
different.
I still see people shitting on Nightmare on Elm Street 2, and I'm like, "Why?"
Yeah.
They haven't just like it took people time to get over Halloween 3, like you said, Friday the 13th 5.
Mhm.
People need to come around to Nightmare 2. It's pretty damn good.
Yeah, there's always that in franchises. It seems like it's like I'll bring this up in a minute, but yeah, there's another like that. I'm the same. I don't understand why people hate it. I guess for my next one, I will go with let's see, get this. Okay, where were we? Yes. Jason Lives. This one for me, it was kind of hard because there was a lot of Friday 13th posters that I liked. Um, this just kind of was the one that I would say is the epitome. I don't have this one. I've got part 1 and I've got part 7 and or sorry, I got part 2 and part 7. I don't have part 1.
Part
Um
7 I really like too. That's a cool one.
yeah, it is cool. I and that one so part 2 that I have over there, that one was only 40 back in the day. I got it
Mhm.
from a place called Starbase. in Franklin, Tennessee. And then part 7, I traded with my friend. I gave him, he gave me this one. And I don't remember what I gave him. I think it was oddly enough like the First Blood soundtrack on vinyl. It was something random.
Oh,
Like
really?
we did a swap. It was something really odd. But this one, yeah, part 6, I don't have it. I would like it. I don't really look for it just because, like I said earlier, it's Jason. I know it's going to be expensive. I know the time we live in now. So I just don't even bother because I just assume it's not even worth checking. But
this, other than the first one, is the most expensive one out of all of them for an original. But other than that, out of the sequels, this is the most expensive one.
Yeah, I figured.
And hold on one second. So while this was not on my list, I picked part 8 for my favorite. I do.
Oh, man. Damn, that's awesome.
I do have one for this movie. And this is just like Nightmare on Elm Street 3. I got a really killer deal on this.
Oh, man.
So it can be had. But this, typically when I see these for sale, this is the most expensive of all the Friday the 13th ones of the sequels. So I saw it. I paid less than $100 for this one too, though. I got a real good deal on it.
Damn, man.
That's like I said, just look at those auctions, man. And I got a broke portfolio for the 27 by 41s coming in, so I won't have to keep folding these because I just don't have enough frames to keep all these in. Like I took out this for the that other Halloween one because I was like, that has to be in a frame. I cannot fold it. But I'm excited to get that so I can just display all of them, so I won't have to fold them anymore because I got a lot in there that are just folded.
Yeah. What's his name? Sean Clark. He's got and you've probably seen it. He's got the folder, the book thing. I don't know how much those are, but that's
that's what it is that I got ordered. It's the exact same one. It's they're like $200.
Okay, and that's
it
kind
comes
of
with like 50 double-sided sheets, I think.
Yeah, that's kind of a cool thing because it's like what he does. Like you can kind of display some, pull them out, put new ones in because it does get to that point where you run out of room. And that's kind of why I haven't bought as many lately is I ran out of room and I might need to invest in something like that. Maybe.
Yeah, I had to get that because that kills me having shit like this and it'd be like folded up like this. I hate that because I got Friday the 13th Part 3. I got a Halloween 3. I got a couple other ones in there that are folded, and I got several Nightmare on Elm Streets in there that are in tubes. And I'm like, I want like that My Bloody Valentine. Until I get that, it's just gonna be sitting in this tube.
Man, that's killer. That is killer.
But I just figured I'd grab that while you had that. So, but for my next one, let's see. I can't remember, what did I show off last? Did I show off
Nightmare
Freddy 3? So I'll go with one I don't have that I'm looking for. All right. Okay. All right. I got it shared.
All right. Let's see.
All right. So this is my next one. This is another one that goes for a lot of money.
Definitely.
Right now I'm seeing them in the 300 range-ish. And I'm almost tempted to bite the bullet on this one and get this because this is an awesome poster. But it's not my number one priority. We'll get to that. I have one of the last ones, or it'll be the last one I show, I guess. Maybe. But that I don't have. The last one I show that I don't have. The only other one other than this that I will get for an insane price. But this one, I'll find a deal eventually. It's so cool. It's iconic. I mean, I know I saw in Garrett's tour room or his room tour. He has one. So I would love to have one.
Yeah, that movie is. This is another one that probably would be an honorable mention. It's killer, man. I keep dancing around getting part 2 because I see it for an okay price. So I'm thinking of getting part 2 at some point. The one sheet. I have Oblivion up here. I have a it's a, what is it? It's not an Anchor Bay. Maybe it is. No, it's an Anchor Bay. I have an Anchor Bay it's like an 18 by something framed. I got it on eBay for like $15. It wasn't too much at all. But yeah, this one's killer, man. You can't beat the first one.
Yeah, and I actually have a part 2 one sheet also. I love it. Honestly, I think I like the part 2 artwork a little more because it's just got him front and center. And I
Yeah.
always love posters where where they have the white border in the one sheets. And I like in the part 2 one, he's like coming out of the border. I like that.
Oh yeah.
I think that's pretty badass. I have that Leatherface poster you have in the background, and I wish they would have made that chainsaw come out of the corner too. That would have been cool.
Yeah, man. That one would have been killer. That poster was that's a real one. I don't remember how much it was. It was another one. It was like 40 something. It wasn't that much. It was on eBay. It was not, it was rolled in a tube. But it's like I was saying earlier, it's a weird one because you can't, it has to be dark to see it. If you have light in the room, you just can't see it. It's like his eyes, it's almost like a subtle effect. Like you have to get really close to see his face. And once you see it, it's creepy, like when you can see it and it's dark. But when you just have, that's the only problem is when I have lights on in here, it just, you can't see anything on that poster for some reason. So
whenever we do another one of these, I'll have to tell. I have a story about how I got that poster because I've technically bought the poster twice.
oh
I have
wow.
one. Yeah, there was some hijinks that went on. So,
Oh man.
so I have to tell that story at another time. It involved me losing a lot of money.
Holy crap, we're gonna have to hear about that. That sounds kind of funny. Let's see. For my next one, I'm gonna go with The Fog. Kind of a classic.
And you picked the art with Jamie Lee on it.
Yeah, I love this artwork. I don't have this poster. Another one I don't have. It's another one that I've looked at it. It goes for a lot, and I would love to. It's just not in my price range right now. But I love the fog coming through the door and the light of the lighthouse or the ship coming through. It's just something about it it's just kind of iconic. This is definitely I would say of like wish list. This is definitely like in my top 5. Absolutely, of like if it was under $200, it would be hard not to get this. So.
Yeah, that's an awesome poster, awesome artwork. One thing I always loved about it too, being a Halloween nerd, is I love how in the movie-thon and Halloween, it says those first 2 lines. It's on the tagline there: "Bolt your doors, lock your windows."
Yeah, it does. I never thought about that. That
I
must have
always
been
love
just
that.
that must have been like a running gag that they were doing or something. I didn't realize that. And I don't know, I haven't checked this lately. I think I checked it a few months back and it was still going. It was a lot of money. It was like 500 plus. But it's
Yeah,
been a
I think
while.
I've seen some with this artwork because I see the other artwork quite a bit online. I think this one, I've seen this one go over 1,000 before.
Yeah. Yeah, that's rough, man.
So, but it's a cool one.
Definitely.
But for my next one, let's see. I got 3 left. So which one do I want to do now? I guess I'll do this one. The one I'm going to save for last is the one that I have not seen yet. I've got one that came in and also has an extra poster in it that I saw when I just cracked the top. So have no idea what it is, and it looks way bigger than the other one, which it's an original 27 by 41. So it's way bigger. So I have no clue what it could be. So I'm excited about that. But for my next one, I am going to pick this. This is an Immortal classic. Amazing. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Awesome.
This is the Bryanston Pictures, which is the original poster. There's 2. With this one, too, you got to watch out because this one came out in 74 when the movie came out. There's another one that came out in 1980 when New Line Cinema re-released it.
Yeah.
And it'll say down here, instead of a Bryanston Pictures, it'll say New Line Cinema. And then also down here, it says Bryanston. It would say New Line. And then New Line released another one in the 80s, mid 80s, I think. where they just took out this bottom text completely.
Mm-hmm.
And then also every single one sheet of this is going to be folded because they folded them and put them in the movie tins when they shipped them out. So this was the first one that I got that was like a grail for me. I love this poster. It's amazing. I had a reprint of this poster. I guess I still own it, but like if you compare it, oh my God, the image is so much more crisp on this, on the original. I didn't even know it, but like the one on my reprint was like blurry as hell. And this one, actually, I got it kind of cheaper than it's worth. It's signed by somebody. It's signed by the art director, Bob Burns, who actually made the masks. I thought that would devalue it, but it's actually worth more because apparently he didn't sign like anything.
Huh.
And he passed away in like 2000, early 2000s. So for me, that's high on my list.
Yeah, I can't even imagine how much that was, honestly. I know that one was in Spring Hill, Tennessee. It was at this record store a year ago, and this guy had it. But the thing is, the one that I saw, it did not look as good as the one you have. Yours looks better. The one he had was like yellow and faded, worn. And he had it framed. And I remember it was on the floor. And I was like, I asked this girl working there, I was like, what does he want for this? And she was like, I think it's a lot. I was like, I'm just curious. And I think she came back and said like $480 or $490 or something. And I was like, yeah, that's cool, but no. So I know I don't even know. I mean, I know it's worth a lot, but I can tell
the
you
one I have is in it's honestly, it's pretty immaculate. It's in really good shape.
Yeah.
There's really nothing. There's no tears on it. This is one I got from some random ass dude's website. It's got no tears on it. It's got no stains on it. It's pretty much perfect. I mean, it's folded, but they're all going to be folded. So as far as TCM gets, the only way it could get better is if I got it in linen back to where you couldn't even see the folds. Yeah. Otherwise, it's pretty perfect. But these are actually not as expensive as you would think they would be. I would say, $480 or whatever for a good one. That's probably the going rate for a good one. So
yeah,
you can get them. I would say just always be looking. You might find one that has a small rip or something on it for like $300 or something. And you put it in a frame, you're never going to notice it.
Yeah, the one this guy had, like I said, yours is way nicer. The only thing about his that I liked is it was in a glass frame. But the poster itself, I knew it was real because it was worn to hell. I mean, it was like yellow dirt. It looked like it had been sitting in Leatherface's house. My favorite
enjoyed it.
Yeah. I would say that my favorite style of the one sheets, I love the Wizard video, the one that like CK has, which I guess, did that come out in the 80s, that poster when the VHS? I had never seen that poster besides the VHS. So when I saw he owned it, I was like, wow, they put out a one sheet of that? That's pretty.
You're talking about this art?
Yes, yeah. I love that. I love that artwork. So
they did the same thing with Halloween also. Hold on one sec. They this I don't have the poster, but it's this.
Yes.
And it's just bigger. So media is pretty cool about that. They put out a bunch of video posters and shit. They actually have another one that's really rare, and it's like presenting Media's monster line. It's got Leatherface and Michael Myers on it. It's pretty cool looking.
Yeah, that's the Media, not Wizard. Did the other release of it? Yeah, and Wizard.
Yeah,
also
Wizard.
Yeah,
that freaking VHS is worth like, I don't even want to know. It's worth a lot.
I guess that's Charles Band's company, right? Wizard, wasn't it? Man. So I guess my next one, let's see what I got. It might tie into what you just did. No, not yet. I'll go with Blood Diner. This is my I guess 9th pick. It's kind of a random one, I know. You're probably thinking, Blood Diner, what the hell?
No, this is a cool one.
I love Blood Diner. As a kid, this this cover art in VHS was like, I just always would love seeing it. I never rented it. I probably never could convince my parents to let me rent it, but this is just one of those I always saw. It was always like nostalgic, and I didn't watch it until like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And I've seen it. I saw it at 12 Hours of Terror at Belcourt. I saw it there. I've got the Blu-ray. This is one of those, if I ever saw the one sheet, though, I would absolutely buy this just because this movie is so weird. I just couldn't help myself. And I don't know what this is going for at the moment.
I want to say it's actually pretty expensive.
Yeah, that's my fear, is that because it's such an odd poster, I think it's one that
people really like. And it's like one of those cult movies that's hit. It's expensive, I think. I could be wrong. I haven't looked at this one in a minute, but I think it's expensive. Yeah. But I remember this one being on the Dead Pit posters back in the day, so I'll do my best impression. First they greet you, then they eat you.
It's great, right? And you know, the funny thing is, when you watch this movie, and you've seen this, right, Blood Diner?
Yeah, but it's been forever. I remember I got it on that one of those packs that they came out with. I was trying to look for it. One of those packs that was those DVDs that were in like the bargain bins that had like 8 movies or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember it being crazy as hell. That's what I remember.
Yeah, like this poster does not really do. It's a cool poster, but it makes you think this is a slasher movie, and it's really not. Yeah. It's more of like a comedy horror. It's a wacky comedy. I mean, there's nothing about this movie. It's not set in the middle of nowhere. It's not really a slasher movie. It's like, it's kind of a bait and switch, but the movie itself, I mean, I just think it's awesome. It's so wacky, you know, it's right. It's hilarious to me. So
it's a good one. That's for sure. So for my, I got 2 more. So one that I'm going to show, this is the last one that I don't have. And before I share this, I'm going to preface this and say, I will pay big bucks for this. Mm-hmm. There's some listings that are in the $300 range. I would pay that much for it for sure. I just haven't pulled the trigger. This is honestly, out of every movie poster, I need to get this because Halloween's my favorite movie, so it's got a lot of sentimental value for me. So I got them. Same for Texas Chainsaw. Other than those 2, this is probably my favorite artwork. I have a shirt of this movie cover, and I wear this fucking shirt all the time. I love this poster. So now that I've hyped it up a bunch, I am gonna share that. Okay, now I've shared that.
Zombie.
I freaking love this poster. I don't know what it is about it. I love the artwork. I love the worms coming out of the eye. It's so simple. It's like, here it is. Here's the zombie. And it just says, we are gonna eat you.
Oh man.
I mean, but it's so cool, man. It's so awesome.
So funny enough about this movie, I am not the biggest Fulci guy. I'm more of an Argento guy, but I respect Fulci's like crazy effects and his gore effects and his mood and atmosphere. I mean, when you're watching Fulci movies, that's kind of what you're not watching to watch like a cohesive story. You're watching because it's crazy shit. But this is the only Fulci movie that is really popular that I have not seen all the way through. I have
really?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of clips of it. I've seen the beginning of it. I've seen the ending of it. I've seen it like bits and pieces on like TV and different things. I keep meaning to sit down and just watch this damn movie because I've seen, you know, House by the Cemetery, New York Ripper, City of the Living Dead, The Beyond, all the classics. I've seen all those, but this is the only one where I'm just kind of like, everyone tells me this is like his best one of that series, and I need to just sit down and watch it at some point.
You've got to watch this, dude.
Yeah,
it's so good, man. It's so good. I love the movie. I will admit it's not as good as Dawn of the Dead. It's not even close. But God, it's good. I saw this one at the Belcourt actually a few years ago. They showed it.
Yeah,
I think it was like right before COVID got serious. But man, this movie is freaking awesome. This is a badass 4K, one of the best 4Ks I've ever
nice.
seen. So this is well worth anybody's buy on this one. Awesome freaking movie. The sequels are not that good, but
That's what I hear now. And that's yeah, the Blue Underground stuff. That's Bill Lustig. He does such a good job with those transfers. Oh, you got him.
I am not gonna buy those Blu-rays that I can't even Severin or whoever the hell put them out. Or
Yeah, I think it was
Vinegar Syndrome, I think.
Vinegar. Yeah. Mm.
But I bought this back when Shriek Show would do these packs and shit.
Oh wow. Yeah, I need to watch it though. I would say of those Fulci movies, the famous Fulci movies that's come out, the one that I don't really enjoy, and I know this is gonna sound like blasphemy, is The Beyond. I try to like The Beyond. I just never can get into it. I just something about I like House by the Cemetery is very crazy and atmospheric, and I kind of like it a lot. I think it's fun. City of the Living Dead is like extremely gory and atmospheric. I think it's really solid. New York Ripper, but yeah, the Beyond is the only one I don't love. I don't really get into as much, but yeah, Zombies one. I've had quite a few people tell me that Zombies like they like it the best of all zombie movies, like more than Dawn of the Dead. So I need to just watch it. I need to sit down and just try it and see what I
One thing
think.
I'll say about Zombie is it's creepy. It's a creepy movie. It's
Yeah.
really like the zombies in it. It's not like an action packed. It's got some really gory scenes, but like the zombies are creepy, dude. And like
Mhm.
that zombie, whenever he comes out of the ground, he looks like that, the cover zombie.
Mhm.
It's freaky.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's did they use so what's weird about Zombie 2 and I'm trying to remember. I don't think they did this, but a lot of people used a lot of the Goblin soundtrack from Dawn of the Dead in other movies like Hell of the Living Dead. That movie, that whole thing is
Mhm.
using Goblin. Like I remember when I saw it, I was like, "This is like Dawn of the Dead." The whole soundtrack. But did Zombie do that? Because I don't think they. I think
Uh,
Zombie had its
mm,
own unique score, right?
yeah, Zombie was by Fabio Frizzi, I think is how you
Yes,
say his name.
that's right.
Dude, at least the main theme compared to the main Dawn of the Dead theme, this is also maybe blasphemy. I actually like the zombie theme better than the Dawn of the Dead theme. It
Nice.
is really freaking awesome. And the music in Zombie is part of what makes it creepy because it's like, other than the main theme, it's kind of like little like doo 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 boo boo. Like
Oh yeah,
it sounds like it's really like creepy,
it's like that
minimalist.
'80s synth type thing.
It's good, man. It complements the movie. It's a great soundtrack, honestly. It's a good movie. And of course you got the zombie versus shark scene. So
Oh yeah, now I have seen that. That is pretty
the
interesting.
classic scene, man. That had to be dangerous.
Yeah, that's one of those, I'm gonna have to watch it. And honestly, with that movie, if I could find it on Blu-ray somewhere for cheap, I'd probably just buy it and just take a chance on it because I know I'd probably like it. I mean, I know
hmm
everyone talks about it. So
I'll
um
say this: don't get this freaking DVD. I had this DVD back in the day. Oh, I thought it was the freaking bee's knees. I was showing my wife. We were like, "Okay, so what's the difference between 4K?" So I said, "Here, let me show you a DVD, and then let me show you a 4K."
oh no.
Oh my god, this was the perfect example because you know what this was? This was like a 4x3 box.
Uh yeah.
It looked bad.
I'm guessing she's not a horror fan either, or is she?
No, not really.
I was gonna say showing her that she probably was like, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah, yeah. And of course I showed her that scene where that zombie comes out of the ground because I was like, this will be a good one to showcase the image quality. And yeah, oh my god, it's mind blowing.
Man.
Now, whenever we did some because I didn't never own Zombie on Blu-ray. We did
Mhm.
some where we did DVD and then Blu-ray and then 4K, like Jaws. The
Oh yeah.
difference between Blu-ray and 4K actually really wasn't that huge. My wife was like, "I like the Blu-ray better."
Yeah, sometimes there's definitely an argument there with that because there's a lot of things with what I'm noticing now, and people are reporting that sometimes the Blu-ray, the colors are a little bit better, and the 4Ks, it's like the colors are not as. It's like a weird thing. Sometimes the colors aren't as good, but the picture's clearer. I don't understand why that happens, but someone was
I
talking about
don't know.
like Fright Night. Someone said that the Blu-ray popped a little more than the 4K.
Mm-hmm. And
I have the
like
4K, but
I know
yeah,
people talk about the grain because there's way more grain on the 4Ks.
yeah,
But apparently they say there's more detail in the grain. So that's why it's grainy. So because I guess the
yeah.
original source has the green.
So I
I
guess
don't know.
for my last one, kind of ties into your earlier one. We'll go with Texas Chainsaw 2. And I've got this one. This is a reprint, right? So it's just a high quality, glossy reprint. It looks good, but it's not real. This is like one of my favorite movies. Definitely love this poster. This is my, like, I would say probably my number one or two poster ever that I love, just because it's just like the Breakfast Club riff and the look. And as much as I love part one, this movie is like, I feel like this movie is like everything you want in a horror movie because it's like it's funny, it's gory, it's ridiculous, the music's great, like the score is good, the soundtrack is good. It's like, and I really think I was saying you were talking about underrated franchise movies. This movie, it seems like people are finally coming around to this movie because for so long, I always heard people say, "Well, two is so stupid," and it's like it's a comedy. It was always meant to be a
Mm-hmm.
comedy. Toby Hooper told people it was a comedy, and it's like people are just now figuring that out. And I'm like, that was always what he was trying. He was never trying to do more of part one. He knew that he couldn't do
Right.
that, right? And I like that finally, it's getting a little bit more love, and people are like, "Oh, okay, it's a different vibe." So
Even the first time I saw this movie, I loved it. It was
yeah,
my it's always been up there for me, and it was actually the first one I ever saw. I
yeah.
saw this one first. I remember I had a blast with it when I was a kid. I loved this movie. And my
Mhm.
dad, whenever we watched the first one, he was like, "Oh, this first one's it's different. It's real serious.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you're gonna like it because like I liked this one a lot." And he's like, "This one's freaking for real."
Yeah, this
Because
is
I was thinking the first one was gonna be like more of what this one was.
oh, right, because
Yeah.
yeah, if you see him out of order, you're like, "What?"
But yeah, dude, I love this movie. This is an awesome poster. I have a reprint of this, but I swear to God, dude, we did not plan this. We did not talk about any of this in advance, but this is actually my last one.
Oh, wow. That's
but
amazing.
with a twist.
Oh, that's
I have
funny.
not seen this. This is the first time I'm opening this. They got a rubber band on it. That's always nice.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's like the other yeah, that is the other one. Is that real?
Yep, this is a one sheet of the B art
Wow.
where he's coming through the door.
That's awesome.
So that's so weird that we saved the same one for last.
That's pretty funny, man. Yeah, that is
But
very funny.
this one I just got this one in. I have not seen it. It's folded, but it's in really good shape. But this one they also have something else in here, so I have no idea what the hell this is. So this will be fun. I can see what the crap this is.
Yeah, that's it's crazy that oh man,
Oh my
I'm
god, this is
curious.
like freaking like two posters.
So you don't know.
King
Oh,
Kong Lives. Dude, it's freaking three posters. I don't know what any of these are.
King Kong
King,
lives.
okay, it's like
That's pretty cool.
it's like ripped horribly too. I wonder if this guy meant to do this. Did he mean to send me all three of these? I doubt
The
it.
Abyss.
The Abyss.
Nice.
Okay, All right, please be an amazing. Oh, I've never even heard of this. What the heck? Oh shit! Alien.
Oh,
Nation.
Alien Nation. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good movie. It's like an 80s movie about aliens and cops. It's actually really good. It's good.
Well, I was not expecting to get 3 additional posters with my order. It literally no joke. Was that in the list? I don't even think that was in the listing. But I got this for pretty cheap. It was like $80, and
Nice.
yeah, I got 4 posters for the price of 1.
Yeah, man, I definitely recommend watching Alien Nation. It's cool. James Caan's in it. It's kind of like an 80s sci-fi thriller type, but it's good.
Yeah, man, I have never heard about this. I don't know why in the heck he's gonna be like emailing me like, oh, I accidentally sent.
Can you send it back?
I'm like, no. That's another story. I'll tell it. I got a Halloween 6 one sheet for a really good deal. Mm-hmm. And instead of getting the Halloween 6 one sheet, I got an Exorcist re-release one sheet from like 98, 2000, whenever they re-released the movie, the director's cut. And it was signed by Dick Smith.
Wow.
And I'm like, well, this guy just sent me something way more valuable than Halloween 6.
Holy crap.
Because Dick Smith, that's like one of the most famous effects artists like ever. Man. So, hey, now I got some more posters I can put in my portfolio when I get it.
That's awesome. King Kong Lives, I think that's that's not the Jeff Bridges one, is it? Or maybe that's a sequel. I can't remember.
Oh, I don't know. He's not. It's a Dino De Laurentiis movie.
Yeah, it looks like it's from 86. Funny. Okay.
What the heck? What the crap?
That's awesome.
That is insane. But yeah, the main one though.
Very
Texas
cool,
Chainsaw 2 B sheet.
Yeah, that's not one you see a lot. You always see
face.
I know, yeah. Bubba.
This was the original poster, and he was like, "Yeah, no, we can't do that. This is like gonna piss people off." Yeah, this makes the movie look like it's like the first one again.
Oh yeah, no, and that's the thing. That would definitely. I think that would definitely give that impression of false advertisement. I mean, it's kind of funny how a lot of directors and movies don't try that more. Because it's like Tobe Hooper kind of understood that more than most. You know, he kind of knew, like, if you're going to talk me into doing this shit again, I'm going to do something 180. Like I'm
going to do my own thing.
Yeah, like I feel like that would have been funny if John Carpenter did that with Halloween. Like if he was like, I'll do another one, but I'm going to do something totally different, you know? But I don't know. I think I would say, like, with those movies, like, 1 is definitely the best, of course. It's the classic. But if you're asking me, like, what movie I want on a desert island, I'm always going to pick 2. Just because, like, I just feel like it's just so fun. I can watch it all the time.
I got that Vinegar Syndrome version coming in the mail soon. So,
yeah.
I'm excited to get that. I finally folded and got it.
Yeah, I have it. I haven't watched it yet. I need to check it out soon to see how the transfer is. I've got the old Blu-ray too. That's just the plain Jane one from MGM. So, yeah.
This one.
Yeah.
See, I have this one too.
I don't have that one.
I was like, I'll get both of these.
Nice.
Little did I know they would put it out on 4K.
Yeah, the MGM one, the only problem with that one that I've noticed is that when you're playing it loud on a system and you have like whatever you have at home, soundbar, speakers, when you crank it, it cracks and pops a bit at the top of the audio. And I think it's just because the transfer is so old. And so that's one of my reasons I wanted to get the new one, is I wanted to see if they fix that. Yeah.
Why in the hell is this the cover for this? I hate that cover, man.
It's kind of bad. Yeah.
I bought this the second it came out though on DVD. Like you can still see like the freaking Walmart sticker on it. And it says like featuring all new commentary by director Toby Hooper.
It's like that one and what's the one with Dennis Hopper on the front? Like the random one. That's an odd cover too. Like I don't know what they were thinking.
Well, that one they were trying to capitalize on Dennis Hopper being it.
Oh,
but this one, why does this not have a better release? When this comes out on 4K, I will be getting it.
Yeah, I don't know. It is odd. I actually, oddly enough, we spoke to one of the guys that worked on that Mick Strawn. I spoke to him recently. He was at the Nightmare screenings, and he got on one of our other show, and he was really cool. He didn't answer. He didn't really talk much about Leatherface, but I did ask him about it because he did like the production design and stuff on it. But I like Leatherface. It's a good movie. I think it's it kind of gets lost in the shuffle between like 2 and 4, so people don't talk about it. But
I see people shitting all over it, man.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's not that bad.
I like it. I think it's perfectly fine. Honestly, it's the movie. I've done this for forever. People aren't into horror movies. I give them Leatherface. I say, here's your entry. It's not as serious as the first, but it's fun. And like the scene, I always think about that scene where they have to change that tire out. I always think about that scene. And then Leatherface runs up on him.
Yeah, that's
that scene is so awesome. It's so good. And the DVD disc, man, I freaking love that. Look at that.
That's cool. Yeah,
that is awesome.
Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff on there that is not. I don't think it's on the Warner Archive Blu-ray. Like, there's a whole behind the scenes with Jeff Burr, the director. And I think a lot of I don't think that's on the Warner Archive, because I remember watching that DVD and watching all those behind the scenes. And then I think they just didn't transfer it over for some reason.
And apparently there's a lot of other shit that was on the laser disc that has never been on anything else.
Yeah.
So I want to see all that stuff because I'm a big fan of that movie. So
yeah,
I love it.
So I guess that's probably it for this week. I know we've run we've almost gone 2 hours. But yeah, man, we definitely will have to do. I don't know what the next episode will be. Just talking about Texas Chainsaw, that kind of makes me want to dig into that some more. That's always fun. But yeah, man, did you have anything else you want to bring up before we wrap it up?
Well, we got to talk about Scream soon. I know that with that new movie coming out, we definitely got to talk about those.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely curious about that. I think that comes out. Is it March?
It's in March,
maybe. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So that's going to be cool. We need to kind of go through those because that's going to be a pretty hot topic, and it'd be fun to dig through Scream. I don't feel like people really dig into those movies enough, so that'd be a lot of fun.
Right? Definitely. Yeah, I got to rewatch 3 and 4. So
nice.
I haven't seen those in a hot minute.
Oh yeah, I watched 2 recently, but I haven't watched 3 and 4 in a while. So, well, yeah, man. I guess we'll wrap it up this week and talk to you guys later.
See you guys later.